Hey, all my loyal viewers! How's it hanging? SwordHeartStudios here, back again, and this time bringing you guys a playthrough of Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 for the PS5. So, I've gotta say, ever since Chapter 2's release of Poppy Playtime, I've been really excited for Poppy Playtime Chapter 3's release, as at the time I'm recording this, only one more day till Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 releases. And I am so excited to see how much they are gonna up it being scarier and darker than the first two chapters as a whole. But before we get all into that, I will be playing through Chapter 1 for you guys here on the channel and then Chapter 2 later. As let's take a look back down memory lane to see just how much Poppy Playtime has evolved with its first few chapters into Chapter 3, as we are about to get right into this. With Chapter 1, A Tight Squeeze. As an ex-employee of Playtime Co., you finally returned to the factory many years after everybody within disappeared. As we see Huggy there staring very ominously into this VHS-like camera, we are going to start a new game.
You are about to see the most incredible doll ever invented. Her name is Poppy, and she is the first truly intelligent doll in the world. A little girl can talk to her. Poppy gives her answers. She is the first doll actually able to have a conversation with a child. Hard to believe? Just watch.
Poppy Playtime!
There she is!
Poppy's as lovable as a real girl, and she talks like one, too.
Hi, my name is Poppy. I love you. Can you help me polish my shoes?
Why, of course, Poppy. Just like a real girl, Poppy always wants to look her best.
Perfect! Thank you.
Her hair is sturdy and won't come out when you brush it, and smells just like a poppy flower. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Poppy?
I'm a real girl, just like you.
What's the time?
Playtime!
And if you've ever wanted to see how all of the nation's favorite toys were created, Playtime Co. is now offering factory tours at just $2.99 a person. An entire hour in the most magical toy factory on Earth. What are you waiting for? Come visit the factory. We can...
And then the video cut out to a poppy flower. As I like how the game starts. Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. Everyone thinks that the staff disappeared 10 years ago. We're still here. Find the flower. Vintage Poppy commercial. As we get this letter from an unknown sender. As I love how this first chapter kind of reminds me of Bendy and the Ink Machine, but with a little bit more of puzzle solving to it than Bendy and the Ink Machine's first chapter was, which don't get me wrong, I do like with Chapter 1 of Bendy and the Ink Machine, how it just kind of introduces things slowly and then... Because I like how Poppy Playtime also does it. But here we are in the Welcome Center as we see a very kind of peeled off paint version of Huggy saying welcome. As we find our first VHS tape. So I've actually played through the first chapter of Poppy Playtime on the PC because I was actually kind of debating with myself if I wanted to do the PC version or the PS5 version. Because mostly I picked the PS5 version since the opening cutscene wouldn't play on my PC. But we're gonna pick this up. But also, funny fact in the PC version, Leifier's name on the tape is actually spelled with an A instead of an E.
Hi,
in
my
Leif.
name is Leifier, and I'm the head of innovation here at the Playtime Co. Toy Factory. If you're seeing this,
Which is kind of a little
you're
an error
trespassing.
on.
We play this little tape on loop whenever we close the factory
Whoa.
for the day. So, trespasser, just to make you aware, while we pride ourselves primarily on our high-quality toys and excellent child care, we also pride ourselves on our security. For example, this facility is full of hidden motion triggers, which, once set off, will turn on the factory's emergency alarms and directly contact the authorities. And that's one of the more tame aspects of our security system. No spoilers. So, you've got my warning. It's not too late to turn around. I just hope that you're certain whatever you're doing is worth it.
Sorry, late Pierre and that ominous hand, but we must push forward to find out what happened to everyone. So there we have the gift shop, security, and then that ominous door that needs a blue hand. Because as we can see in security, there's a grab pack, but we can't really get to it right here, as we're gonna need a code, which is where the gift shop comes into play. Because this first puzzle may be a bit confusing for people new to Poppy Playtime. Because, I mean, heck, even when I first seen the game, I was like, wait a minute with this. But it's then when you really take a look around that you notice where the code is. On the train itself. Green, pink, yellow, and red. As it is a bit of a first confusing puzzle for an opening to a game, which I know was kind of confusing to a lot of other players, especially, you know, if they're colorblind. But even still, I always like puzzles that kind of really make you think on what to find and what to need to do. Okay, so then we're gonna enter this in. Green, pink, yellow, and let me just move this over. Red. As we get on in here, and we get the blue tape for grab pack training. And we plop this into the VHS. Playtime Co. And we got the grab pack. Tighten the straps. Hold both cannons. Pull trigger to fire. Pull again to retract. Hold to grip onto object. Only fire at small objects / handles. Do not fire at a coworker. This may cause injury. Yeah, that would definitely cause a lawsuit. Wires conductive used for rewiring. Thank you. Use your grab pack responsibly. What's the time? Playtime Co. Alright, and then after we get done with that, we get ourselves the grab pack. But unlike in the VHS, we only have one hand for right now instead of two, as we will be getting the other one later. As I gotta say, with the grab pack, it really shows just how much Playtime Co. knew that some of their stuff was dangerous while trying to let their workers be aware of what they were doing. But as we can see, it seems like some carnage has unfolded. As we put our hand up here to get right through the door. Oh, but actually, a little feature that I wanted to kind of note here that wasn't in the PC version was that you can actually go through the turnstiles now. Because I did find myself having to hop over those. But welcome to Playtime Co. As we meet the blue monster himself, who looks like Cookie Monster, Huggy Wuggy. As we give the man a high five, meeting him the first time, we give him multiple high fives. Yes. Because he just has his hand up there. Oh, but here is Huggy Wuggy, 1984 to present. Playtime Co. has designed hundreds of distinct toys, but none connected with people more than that of Huggy Wuggy. Our founder, Elliot Ludwig, aimed to create a toy which could hug you forever. As is always true, Playtime Co.'s four-step process to creating the most lifelike toys was a success. With a bit of string and polyester, our lovable blue pal, Huggy, was brought to life. Huggy Wuggy has gone on to be Playtime Co.'s most popular and best-selling toy so far. Oh, but here's his theme song. Huggy Wuggy, when he hugs you, he'll never stop. And then Huggy Wuggy, is you until you pop. Because I like how eerie that is while also being fun. Alright, but here we have the next door we're supposed to go through, but inadvertently, we trigger the power to go off. But we hear a little bit of a jingle. And how did you get that key, Huggy Wuggy? I mean, how? Just how? Why? But it's going to be what gets us into the power room. As we press on and open the door and see a poster of Kissy Missy, of some do's and don'ts. Do be kind to others, show up on time, and not hide behind doors to scare Leif Pierre. Because, I mean, shouldn't that be on the don'ts? Don't stay past 8 p.m., misuse company time, tamper with machinery, and enter Innovation Wing without authorization. Because I like Kissy Missy. She's pretty cool, and she is fluffy. Alright, but over here we got the power, the little outlet to connect, to divert power. But over here, we can see another boogie bot that has met its fatal end, along with this very ominous drawing with the words "wonderful" next to it. Because for first-time players to Poppy Playtime, like me who didn't see that on their first run-through, I gotta say, funny how that would kind of be a little bit of a hint for what would be yet to come in the game, especially in Chapter 2. But just connect this over here. As even though we don't have the other grabpack arm cannon yet, it's still a nice touch for kind of introducing us to the mechanics. Not all at once, but as we can see, once we get back out, he's gone! Because was this about the multiple high fives I gave you, Huggy Wuggy? Because I'm sorry. I didn't know your hand would be tired from all that high-fiving. Alright, so we push on through here. As we open the door. But it's crazy how we would never get to come back to this door. Because I feel like that was going to be more that was done if we got to come back. But it feels like the development team wanted to keep it short and simple for what we would be facing as we make our way to the Make a Friend room. What, Huggy? Huggy, I seen your arm slither off like a snake into there. Are you in here? Apparently not. As we make our way through this ominous dark hallway. But I gotta admit, in the PS5 version, I do like the fact that the lighting feels good in this compared to the PC version. Because, I mean, in the PC version, it kind of felt just really dark to me. Because I don't know about you guys, but even still, it's kind of how it felt. Because, I mean, I was having to tone up the brightness and everything. But there's the other grabpack hand. Let's hop down. Hopping around. As we collect these fuse boxes, because we got 3 so far. Just one more. Because if I remember correctly... Because the layout of the fuse boxes are actually random to every playthrough you do of Chapter 1. So they're not always going to be in the same place. There you are. Come here. Alright, but here we have our next tape. Security camera, Rich and Avery. Okay. As we pull this door back a bit. And we plop this orange tape of Rich and Avery into the VHS.
Rich, where are they keeping the Huggy boxes?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Remember when maintenance left did a sweep of this place?
No.
Exactly. Nobody in this stupid company knows what they're doing. Oh, I swear, I haven't seen a single box in its place since they started flooding the storehouse with orphanage junk.
Right.
I get it. It's a nice program and all, on brand, but... it's just hard to be happy about it when manufacturing's on our necks about it, because we can't find stupid Huggy boxes!
Rich.
You're right. You're right. It's for the orphans. I just wish there were less boxes. Anything less would be more habitable. Is that even a word? Habitable.
Man, because it really just shows how much Playtime Co. really took more pride in, well, we're just caring more about the program than they were doing for the orphans than really caring much about the work conditions of their workers. Especially in the storehouse. Huggy says, remember to take breaks. Never truer words, Huggy, as we make our way back.
Bruh.
Huggy, I see you there. I see you. I see you. No. Yeah, you better crawl back into that vent. Okay, as we place the fuse boxes, we can now get the grab pack hand. As the claw drops it down, smashes the glass, we got ourselves a second grab pack hand. I don't know. I was trying to make that rhyme for some reason, but let's get both hands on the scanners and release. Okay, press circle to crouch. Because I will be playing Poppy Playtime 2 later on my laptop. So the controls might be a little bit different for when I do play it. But even still, I know I can always play games with my PS5 controller on Steam. Because it does make me wonder when they are going to do a console release of Chapter 2. Because I love the time that was put into this release of Chapter 1 for the PS5. Alright, but just gotta get it around. And there we go! As we go up on this conveyor belt while not being able to move. I love how the tension builds through this scene, because it really got me the first time I watched Super Horror Bro play through this on his channel. Alright, and here we are, the Make a Friend room. And here's the Make a Friend machine, 1960. Our founder, Elliot Ludwig, was a visionary. He set the stage for all of Playtime Co.'s greatest feats. Yet, of all the amazing things that he created, the Make a Friend machine is one of the most creative, impressive, and advanced. It is solely responsible for nearly every Playtime Co. toy sold on the market to this day. All it needs is to be fed the proper parts, and it will then paint, assemble, and do a quality inspection of the toy all on its own. Gone is the need for complex sorting or back-breaking labor, this machine can do all that and more. But as we can see, it does need power in order for it to work, as we will need to make a toy to get out of here, as nobody leaves without a toy, as Huggy says. But before we head up, here is the pink VHS tape. As we are gonna head up to redirect the power to get the Make a Friend machine back on. But before we do that, let's put this one in.
So, Stella, what made you want to work at the Playtime Co. factory?
Playing with toys when I was young was so magical. I could go straight from my bedroom floor to anywhere in the world. It was such a great feeling. And being able to work at a toy factory, somewhere that can provide kids with that same experience, that's a pretty great feeling too. Sometimes though, I really, really wish I could go back. To being a kid, I mean. And it's weird, because adults are just kids, but older. I don't think anyone ever really feels like an adult, but your body just gets older and older, and then you die. Poof! Human bodies just can't stay young forever. There's things though, like some trees that can stay alive even while being way older than a person. I mean, the oldest people to ever live are still younger than those. So I guess everyone is always young relative to something. Right?
Alright, I think we're getting a little off track.
Man, I gotta say, I really like Stella Graber's character, because it really shows how much of an interesting view she had. Especially on just with how much she really showed just how much. Because I'm trying to think of the words, but mostly how much she just wanted to stay young forever. Because hey, while we may get older, we're all still young at heart in some way or another. Because I mean, heck, I can still be a bit of a kid sometimes. Because I mean, I still love plushies, I still love games. Oh, shoot! Wasn't supposed to do that. Because, you know, it really speaks loudly. Especially for people who really still show that they're young at heart. Okay, so then... Okay, around the loop, and then... we have power. Alright, as we can get the Make a Friend machine on now, as we use... Or can't use the grabpack, can't, or, oh! There it goes! Alright, but as we start to feed the machine the parts it needs... And there goes a cat bee into the machine. Man, I really love the specs and detail on the graphics for the PS5. Because it's got a nice polish to it that I really love. Oh! Into the first machine it goes for the parts to be painted. And cat peas looking really nice with those colors. As it's now going into the assembly machine to get assembled. But I have heard the theory that human souls might have also been used to create the machines with the way they stare at you. Because I mean, it is a possibility for what Playtime Co. was up to. But oh, Cappy's going through its quality check. And here she comes. Here comes the little girl. Cappy. Yes. Come here, you. Alright. As we now put her on the scanner. And we get her back in our inventory. As we can now leave. But before that, here he comes. And I just got goosebumps. But let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So we go down through here. Whew. Because, man, this really gets you in the adrenaline rush. Okay. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh! Come on, come on! Okay, let's go, let's go. Stop it, scary writing. I'm ignoring you for right now with how scared I am of Huggy. Whee! And there goes Huggy Wuggy, tumbling down as there is what I like to say red jam. I'm sorry, I do not want to say what it really is because I don't want to get demonetized. Because one of my videos actually did get demonetized with Resident Evil 2's first part. Because I've been hearing that's been happening to a bunch of other YouTubers, mostly if there's kind of some horror elements that YouTube finds unsuitable for audiences. That really kind of takes away from YouTubers' earnings. But even still, I don't mind it. I don't mind it one bit with how much, because even though it has that scene, I'm like, nope. Because I ain't taking it out.
Final log in relation.
Oh, but here
to
we go.
experiment
Unnamed tape.
1006, the prototype. Coordination and cooperation is evidently within his skill set, as well as the skill set of all other experiments of his type. Though still missing, today's events are no doubt in relation to him. His absence was a flaw in the scientific process, which should have under no circumstances been left unaccounted for. That's why I'm making this log, so that the same mistake won't be made twice. Any future experiments will need to be contained and disposed of in a secure location. I'm not worried about myself. One breakthrough and I'll be back. We must forge onwards in the name of science, whether those who are beneath us understand it or not. End of...
Yeah, because, buddy, you should have definitely have gotten out of there to record this, but even still, we wouldn't have gotten this tape right here. But, you know, it's actually crazy to think how many people thought Huggy Wuggy was actually Experiment 1006. Because with the way that claw image was on the TV, it had me definitely thinking with just the fact that it couldn't have been Huggy Wuggy that easily, because just with the way he looked and whatnot, he definitely didn't seem like it was in his skill set. But as we see, we have found the poppy flower. As we ignore these warnings, we go right through the door and down further once more into a dollhouse-like setting. As we hear some very ominous music box music. But here is a door we can't go through just yet. But as we reach the end of the hall, there she is, Poppy Playtime. But let's end this chapter. Whew.
You opened my case.
Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, A Tight Squeeze. But that's the end of that. So I gotta say, with this being the first chapter of the game, it really offered a lot for what was yet to come in Poppy Playtime, especially with Chapter 2 expanding upon what we'd already known from Chapter 1, with Elliot Ludwig and also several other characters that we have gotten to see through the VHS tapes, but also the lore itself that was introduced. As overall, this chapter feels very straightforward with what to do as a whole. While the beginning may be a little bit tricky for players to figure out, overall, I definitely give this whole chapter a 9 out of 10 for how well it was. Because I overall liked this, and I'm really excited to play Chapter 2 here on the channel after I get done recording this video, as it's gonna be exciting to see what happens next with the horrors that are going to be faced next time in Playtime Co. by me. But I do really like this port for how much it feels very smooth and just very well done, because it's what's got me excited to actually play Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 on the PS5 when it comes out. Because I like how much this kind of really gives players who've had problems with trying to get Chapter 1 to run on their PCs an opportunity to actually play it for themselves, which I really love as a whole. Especially for how Mob Entertainment was letting people know that Poppy Playtime would be coming to consoles soon. But alright, there you guys have it. So that was Chapter 1, but with that end, this is where we are gonna end it for Poppy Playtime. But I'll see you guys next time for Chapter 2. Oh, but before I go, if you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe button for more awesome content in the future, just like this. And make sure to click that notification bell down below for my latest videos and updates. But I'm SwordHeartStudios, and I'll see you guys next time for Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 on the PC. But see you, everyone!